Today's episode is about one of the most common questions men keep to themselves. A question that is rarely asked calmly. A question surrounded by insecurity, myths, jokes, shame, online exaggeration, and performance pressure. Does size really matter? Many men think about this more than they admit. Some worry before marriage. Some worry after rejection. Some worry because of pornography. Some worry because of jokes from friends. Some worry because of one careless comment from a partner. Some worry because they compare themselves to unrealistic images online. Some worry even when their partner has never complained. And many women are tired of this question because the real answer is more complex than men imagine. So today, let us talk about it maturely, scientifically, emotionally, respectfully, without vulgarity, without shame, without false reassurance, and without reducing intimacy to one body part. Today's episode is called, Does Size Really Matter? What Women Actually Care About in Intimacy. Let us begin with today's situation. A man writes, I am getting married soon, and I feel anxious about physical intimacy. I keep worrying whether my body is enough. I have read things online, heard jokes from friends, and seen unrealistic comparisons. Now I feel pressure before the relationship has even begun. My fiancé is kind, but I am afraid she may be disappointed. I do not know how women really think about this. Does size matter? Or am I overthinking? This is a deeply human question. And the first thing I want to say is this. You are not alone. Many men carry private anxiety about size. Even confident men. Even successful men, even married men, even men in loving relationships. This anxiety is often less about anatomy and more about fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of being judged, fear of rejection, fear of humiliation, fear of being compared, fear of failing as a man. But here is the important truth. Intimacy is not a measurement contest. A loving relationship is not an audition. A woman is not a judge sitting with a checklist, and a man's worth is not decided by one physical feature. Now, does size matter? The honest answer is, for some women, it may matter a little. For others, it matters very little. For many women, it matters far less than men fear. And for long-term relationship satisfaction, size is usually only one small part of a much bigger picture. That bigger picture includes emotional safety, trust, communication, affection, respect, comfort, confidence, health, attunement, kindness, patience, mutual desire, relationship quality, feeling wanted, feeling valued, feeling understood, feeling safe enough to relax. This is why a simple yes or no answer is misleading. If someone asks, does size matter? The better question is, matter compared to what? Compared to emotional safety? Usually less. Compared to communication? Usually less. Compared to kindness? Usually less. Compared to confidence and calm presence? Usually less. Compared to whether the partner feels respected and comfortable? Usually less. Compared to whether the relationship feels loving, safe, and emotionally alive? Usually much less. This is the part many men miss. They focus on size because size feels measurable. But women often experience intimacy relationally, not only physically. The emotional climate matters, the tone matters, the safety matters, the pressure level matters, the affection matters, the way a man responds to her comfort matters, the way he listens matters, the way he handles vulnerability matters. The way he behaves before and after intimacy matters. A relationship does not begin and end in one moment. It is built across the whole emotional space between two people. Now, what do women across different ages often say? Younger women may talk more about attraction, confidence, chemistry, and curiosity. Some may be influenced by social media, peer talk, dating culture, and unrealistic expectations. But even among younger women, many say that confidence, emotional safety, respect, and communication matter deeply. Middle-aged women often speak differently. They may care more about connection, trust, patience, health, emotional maturity, and whether the partner understands their body and feelings. They may have lived long enough to know that arrogance is not attractive, that pressure is not intimacy, that a man who listens is more desirable than a man who only worries about performance. Older women often speak with even more clarity. They may value tenderness, companionship, warmth, humor, affection, patience, and emotional presence. They often know that bodies change, health changes, energy changes, hormones change, desire changes, but kindness remains important, respect remains important, touch remains important, feeling loved remains important, being emotionally met remains important. Across age groups, one message repeats. A man who is anxious about being judged may become so focused on himself that he forgets to connect, and that is often a bigger issue than size. Because performance anxiety pulls attention inward, the man starts thinking, how am I doing? Is she satisfied? Am I enough? What if I disappoint her? What if she compares me? The more he monitors himself, the less emotionally present he becomes. And intimacy needs presence, not panic. A partner wants to feel that you are with her, not trapped inside your own fear. Now let us talk about pornography and unrealistic comparison. Many men get their idea of normal from the wrong places. Online adult content often exaggerates bodies, reactions, scenarios, and expectations. It is not a realistic guide to intimacy. It is performance. It is edited. It is selected. It is built for visual impact. It does not reflect the emotional reality of a loving relationship. A man who compares himself to unrealistic online images may feel inadequate for no real reason. This comparison can damage confidence. It can create anxiety. It can make a man feel like he must perform instead of connect. And it can create false beliefs about what women actually want. Real intimacy is not a scene. It is not a performance. It is not a competition. It is two people learning each other with respect. Now, let us talk about confidence. Confidence does not mean arrogance. Confidence does not mean pretending. Confidence does not mean ignoring your partner's comfort. Real confidence means, I do not reduce myself to insecurity. I can be present. I can communicate. I can listen. I can be gentle with my own fears. I do not need to prove my worth through pressure. A confident man is often attractive because he creates safety. He is not rushing. He is not panicking. He is not demanding validation. He is not making his partner responsible for his self-esteem. He can say, I care about your comfort. I want us to feel close. We can take our time. There is no pressure. That kind of emotional maturity matters. Now, let us talk about women's experience. Many women do not want pressure. They do not want performance anxiety turned into tension. They do not want a man who is so worried about himself that he forgets her comfort. They do not want to feel like their body is being treated as proof of his masculinity. They want respect. They want communication. They want warmth. They want to feel emotionally safe. They want to feel that their comfort matters. They want to feel that the relationship is not only about one outcome. They want affection before expectation. They want presence, not pressure. This is especially important in marriage, in arranged marriage, in first-time intimacy, in relationships where both partners are still learning each other. In long-term relationships where stress, fatigue, health, aging, or emotional distance can affect desire. When a woman feels safe, respected, and emotionally connected, intimacy has a better chance of feeling meaningful. When she feels rushed, judged, pressured, or treated like a test, desire can shut down. Now, does that mean anatomy never matters? No. For some women, physical fit or preference may matter. Human beings have preferences. Bodies are different. Comfort varies. Attraction varies. But reducing female satisfaction to size is scientifically and emotionally too simplistic. It ignores emotional connection. It ignores communication. It ignores affection. It ignores trust. It ignores arousal as a whole body, whole relationship experience. It ignores the importance of feeling emotionally seen. It ignores the fact that long-term intimacy is shaped by the entire relationship, not one measurement. A man's anxiety often makes size feel more important than it really is because it is the one thing he cannot easily change. But a relationship gives him many things he can influence. How he communicates, how he listens, how he creates safety, how he handles vulnerability, how he manages stress, how he treats his partner outside the bedroom, how he responds to feedback, how he builds trust, how he reduces pressure, how he shows affection, how he respects boundaries, how he grows emotionally. These things matter deeply. Now, let us talk about what women often find unattractive. Not smallness, but insecurity turned into behavior. Constantly asking for reassurance, making painful jokes about oneself, becoming defensive, comparing, avoiding intimacy out of fear, pressuring the partner to validate him, becoming angry if the partner is not instantly enthusiastic, treating intimacy like proof, ignoring the partner's comfort, being unable to talk about emotions, being unwilling to learn. These behaviors can create more distance than anatomy ever could. A man who is kind, emotionally steady, respectful, and present often creates more connection than a man who is physically confident but emotionally careless. Now, what should a woman do if her partner is anxious about size? First, do not shame him. Never mock, never compare. Never repeat private details to friends. Never use his insecurity as a weapon during conflict. Those wounds can last for years. Second, reassure him with warmth, not performance language. She can say, "I want us to feel close, not pressured. I care about you, not a measurement. I want us to learn each other slowly. I feel safest when we communicate. I do not want you to feel judged." Third, be honest but gentle. False praise can feel fake. Cruel honesty can hurt. The best approach is emotional truth. What matters to me is that we are comfortable, connected, and respectful. Fourth, guide the relationship toward communication. A couple should be able to talk about comfort, affection, boundaries, worries, and expectations without shame. Intimacy improves when communication improves. Now, what should a man do if he is anxious? First, stop using the internet as your mirror. The internet is full of exaggeration. Second, stop turning women into one opinion. Women are not a single category. Different women value different things. Third, build confidence from the whole relationship. Are you kind? Are you respectful? Are you emotionally present? Are you healthy? Are you communicative? Are you willing to learn? Are you calm? Are you trustworthy? These matter. Fourth, if anxiety is severe, seek professional help. A doctor can check physical health if there are concerns. A psychologist or certified sexual health professional can help with performance anxiety, shame, body image, and relationship communication. There is no shame in getting help. Fifth, do not let insecurity make you selfish. An anxious man may become so focused on proving himself that he forgets his partner's emotional experience. Shift the focus from proving to connecting, from measuring to listening, from panic to presence, from performance to partnership. Now, let us speak about long-term couples. In long-term relationships, size becomes even less central than many people think. Because long-term intimacy is shaped by the emotional relationship, resentment affects desire, stress affects desire, sleep affects desire, health affects desire, affection affects desire, communication affects desire, feeling loved affects desire, feeling taken for granted affects desire. A partner may not withdraw because of anatomy. They may withdraw because they feel emotionally alone, or tired, or unheard, or pressured, or resentful, or disconnected from their own body. So if intimacy is struggling, do not immediately assume the problem is size. Ask better questions. Are we emotionally close? Are we communicating? Are we tired? Are we stressed? Are we kind to each other? Are we affectionate outside moments of expectation? Do we feel safe? Do we repair conflict? Do we feel wanted as people? These questions are often more useful. Now, let us talk about the body confidence wound. Many men carry shame, silently. They may never say it, but they feel it. They compare. They worry. They avoid. They overcompensate. They become jealous. They become defensive. They become distant. But shame grows in silence. A mature relationship allows difficult conversations with dignity. A man can say, "I sometimes feel insecure about my body, and I do not want that insecurity to create distance between us." That is not weakness. That is honesty. And a caring partner can respond, "I want us to feel safe talking about this. I care about our connection more than your insecurity tells you." That is intimacy, not the absence of fear, but the ability to face fear together. Now, here is the deeper lesson. The question, does size matter, often hides a deeper question. Am I enough? Can I be desired? Can I be accepted? Will I be compared? Will I be rejected? Can I relax in my own body? That is the real conversation. And the answer is, you are more than a measurement. A relationship is more than anatomy. A woman's desire is more than one physical factor. Intimacy is more than performance. And love is more than fear of being judged. The healthiest couples do not build intimacy through perfection. They build it through safety, through communication, through affection, through humor, through patience, through learning, through mutual respect, through trust, through emotional presence. That is where real closeness begins.